Hello and welcome. It is the 15th day of May 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. But today's video is not going to really focus too much on the markets as I'm going to start off with in Bitcoin. Then I'm going to talk about the Binance and the Cryptopia situation. Definitely not good news for Cryptopia holders. And let's begin. So within the price of Bitcoin, it's just going sideways, hanging in there. We see on the single hour term how it's just mainly doing not much at all. So therefore, well extended above the 18. It could correct, it could not. One of the things I was saying yesterday, I'd be very surprised if this thing doesn't work its way up to 10,000 with not so much for any correction along the way. I mean, the market will do what it needs to do, but that's the analysis that I was coming with among yesterday. Of course, if there is going to be any type of corrections, holding the previous area where it came from, that big 6,000 number is right now, even though mathematically I can't calculate that as a key number, a previous level, it most certainly is. And for the first time, the Bitcoin dominance is down to the 18 average of lows. It says 60.18. It would be under 60, but altcoins over the last 2 days overperforming that of Bitcoin. And as a trader, I'll be looking for DGB today as a possibility. It came close throughout the morning session as the price action managed to make it up to about 157, 158. And if it manages to get a little bit higher from there, or other coins have decent declines, a lot of the ratios that I have with this is getting close to trading, just buying for stuff like Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. And Theta has 9 down weeks in a row, with this week still being live. But right now it's up 19.5% for the week. Really bad timing for me overall, but that's everything's all fine. As the price actually just kept on going lower. Then the Binance hack, and I wanted to buy more Theta as it was breaking down below the 13 change area. Not only did it go down below 13 change, it went to about 11 change, but now up to 1473. Just making a move right now to the 18, but within these types of coins, big moves I would be expecting moving forward. And I'm just curious about the BNB coin. Now I'm going to quickly take a look at that, then go on to Twitter. And it's been a good news day. And even now that I say that, there is one coin I also want to take a look that is reflected from Binance. This is sick. Wow, this person is rich. Not as rich anymore, but maybe in the future, I don't know. Paxos Standard, I'm guessing, is some sort of US dollar base, given where the price of this is. It's like a stable currency or something of the nature. We take a look at the 4 hour, 1 hour term time frame. A high of about 100,000, a low of about 88.44, a close at about 90. They give warnings if you're going to, the fat finger type. I don't know what else is to say about that. There are some people that made some very good, phenomenal plays. The volume, as we can, is on the left-hand side. It says 5,875. For the sake of the trader, I'm hoping that's in Paxos, but if that's in Litecoin, ooh, that would be very expensive. But you know what? I guess you make mistakes, you make mistakes. I done it a few times, and I don't trade much on Binance, but the times that I have where it's one of those moves that are, and it's usually not even by mistake, it's because of those 17 Satoshi coins, but because I'm making a move of whatever, it's like over 10%, they'll give you the warning, oh, it's over this amount of percent, are you sure you want to do it? Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, now, Cryptopia is what I want to talk about, but before we do that, let's continue on with Binance and their security breach. And February 12th, this is a pinned tweet. Scammers are impersonating official Binance accounts and tweeting to ask for deposits to specific address in return for gifts. And there's a lot of them that do that sort of thing. They're always a scam. You will lose your tokens if you do this. Okay, that's not really what I talk about. 46 minutes ago, auto scaling due to load spike will stabilize soon. I haven't logged into Binance yet right now because of the Theta price. There is no need for me to do so right now. Thank you for your patience and incredible support. It says maintenance complete. Fixing one extra lock still in place. Sorry, and there's a link here. And this is the CEO, I think. He's got his own account. Uh, Fixing one extra, says that again. First and foremost, giving $1.2 million equivalent in BNB back as a thank you for standing by us. Also, one level up for all VIPs. So, the things that they're doing in here is very good customer support. I actually tried to win one of their hoodies earlier last week, but I didn't do it. But they had their system maintenance. Apparently now the wallets are back online, and there we have it. But if we take a look at Cryptopia, and we take a look at what's going on there, it's not good news. 11 hours ago, Limited appoints Cryptopia Limited appoints Grant Thornton as liquidators. Cryptopia Limited appoints Grant Thornton as liquidators, and if I go onto their website, it says here David Resco and Russell Morris from Grant Thornton, New Zealand, were yesterday appointed liquidators of Cryptopia. Despite the efforts of management to reduce cost and return the business to profitability, it was decided the appointment of liquidators was in the best interest of customers, staff, and stakeholders. I'm only presuming the people with balances are stakeholders. The liquidators were focused on securing the assets for the benefit of all stakeholders. While this process and investigation take place, trading on the exchange is suspended. Given the complexities involved, we expect the investigation to take months rather than that of weeks. And there's a little bit more stuff on the internet. I'm still waiting for more to surface through. And after the security problem on January 14th, what was happened was Ethereum-based coins were stolen and hacked within a security breach. And time has went on over the last several 4 months. It was a month before police was able to get them back in the building, and then a very, very slow recovery phase that just pretty much seemed to falter over the last week and a half. And no surprise on the slowest and the faltering. I did hear too on one of the websites that they pretty much got rid of pretty much all their employees, or they were just so super short staffed. And the thing was just like they were it was bad. It was a bad situation there, not good. And what occurred was at one point they started to secure the wallets one by one. Within Doji, whatever Doji you had, well, you had 100% of those coins. They were all safe for you. If you had Bitcoin, 86% were safe, 14% were taken. They were put into a Cryptopia loss maker fund, which meant they were already telling you that some of it was already taken from you anyway because they were giving you what sounded like New Zealand dollars based on the prices of the middle of January, and thus, of course, cryptocurrencies are much higher, at least as of the time of April when you were allowed to actually do something with the three coins, at least on the top that I show. Litecoin, it was 58%, so that was a majorly larger loss. So that was a large haircut. And Ethereum was a complete shave every little bit. 0% of the Ethereums were safe. And then some other coins went to the market. So one by one or five by five, up to about 100 and close to 150 of them, they would put coins back on the market. Some are ultimate shit coins that were very low volume traded ones. Then you had the Dash, the DGB were some of the bigger ones, the ETN. Then and there was just a few other ones as well. But what that meant, though, for you as a holder, that if you had your Doji, again, you were 100% safe. Your BTC, you got a lot of it back in comparison to what a lot of it was. Litecoin was a pretty heavy haircut. Ethereum, you lost everything. If you had the other coins, the Raven coin, the DGB, any of those other ones, the only way you ever got anything back was to sell it on the market. I thankfully decided on Sunday I withdrew everything that I could, and it wasn't much, and that left a few coins back that, of course, that were still offline. But I had to sell everything at a really bad price. And that's what a lot of people have had to do is sell their coins like the Dash and the Raven coin at lower prices just to get access to it because all those other coins that you could not withdraw the funds. And when we think about the overall scam as it comes into play in the numbers games, just approximating it a little bit. And it starts with 20 million around approximately. I'll put plus in the ERC Ethereum based tokens. And it's important to note that there were many, many coins not affected within this situation, which we'll be getting into very, very shortly. But amongst such, how many Bitcoin are on the site now compared to January 14th? And the answer would be less because people have been able to take out their Bitcoin. The amount of Doji, that would be less as well. Litecoin, less, but remember, they took at least 42% and everything else that's left as well. So even though your loss maker says, okay, you got this much back, I don't even know if that's ever going to come back or not. Now, legally, it probably should, but they also said it's going to take months. So now I guess the hope is by Christmas. But really, the hope might be by 2020. The Mount Gox, which is this is a very similar comparison now, that was several years. It wasn't until like last year, 2018, until funds were able to get whatever type of haircut return back at that point. We got those dashes that I mentioned, the ETNs. There are so many coins, and not one single coin that is not a Doji, a Bitcoin, or a Litecoin has really left the building. Yes, they've been traded, but they're just changing positions. There's no depositing or withdrawing of those coins. So what's the value of these coins? Of every single one, we got $20 million here to start. But is this a 9-figure number right now? 100 plus million? I mean, the Ethereum. And here now we get to a situation of how do we give these coins back to people? Is it going to work out that whatever of those DApps coins and any of these XBYs and all the other smaller based, especially monopolized on Cryptopia coins, the ones on small markets, are they going to sell them on the market? A lot of them they can't, especially the ones that are monopolized that haven't been able to really do much on exchange since that point. For those coins that were monopolized, like the XBY, now the supply that of coins and even players, for that matter, have been really shut out within it. They're not able to trade within the market. They're probably going to be not only hesitant to buy that particular one or anything else on Cryptopia, but even cryptocurrencies in general after going through this. Those who lost really heavy on this. And for myself, I lost an okay amount, but I was able to get everything that I had in. I still got some Ethereum Classic that I was waiting for, some upfiring, which is like nothing of a coin, some Komodo. I had some what's that coin called again? That's Horizon Zen, and a couple other ones as well. Not much I can do, but how do they give you portions of those coins? What are they going to do with all the other ones? Are they used to pay off debt? And if that is the case, they're going to have to sell them on the market. So it brings us to a very, very interesting and scary situation overall. People have been talking about lawsuits and such, and those are definitely things that are considerable, especially with larger size amounts. I would guess, but I would almost have to almost know for sure that if it was, that the time amount that it would take is also using that feature going to take quite some time as well. And every single one of these coins that were monopolized again, all of them are going to be lacking supply. It's going to be difficult, I think, for every single one. With this going down, I had decided to remove all buy orders on my XBY and then just see what I can trade from it from that point on. I have got all of them again from that Cryptopia. I was at a stage where everything I had was profited from 2017, 2018, but that means, of course, that what you have cuts into pretty much a lot of them. Same thing, and my whole bankroll, of course. I had a percentage of there on there. The risk tolerance was a little higher than it probably should have been. At least I got something of it back because right off the bat I was able to withdraw my Litecoin and I was able to withdraw my dojis. I was able to again on Sunday. I was like I was buying some precious metals, so I'm thinking, man, I might as well just pull everything I can out of Cryptopia. So I sold the Raven coin, sold the DGB, sold the Dash. That was all left that I could sell, and then I withdrew the Bitcoin. But I couldn't take my Ethereum Classic out because it's still hijacked, and now it's going to be for quite some time. So, the importance of holding your own money. And this can happen with any institution that is in that job. And one of the things I thought about early and was that, what would be interesting is having like my own like day trading or basically market trading company and have people invest in my trading, which would be like a transparent way of showing all holdings, all trades, really, and even the commissions that I would be making, because part of the formula would be as my bankroll, as the company's bankroll would be increasing, I would be taking a portion of those profits. Just that would be a no-brainer, and that's fine and dandy. But then one of the things I was thinking, geez, holding other people's money. Not a big fan of that. I'm thinking, well, I know I'm honest enough to do it. Oh, geez, now I have to have the security features people are going to be trying to take from me. Because one of my ideas was for, at least for the price management, to keep it fair, is have a spot where you could sell your portfolio or buy one from the company itself at a much higher percentage, meaning you can sell off what you own for like a 5% fee. Because I really want you to sell it on the market. So I can tell you, okay, each one of your coins is worth so much, say 150,000 Satoshi in Bitcoin. That's what it's worth based on the trading. Maybe last week it was worth 145 or whatever. So it would be just the value of the portfolio per share that way, which means it would be probably less volatile than all the other cryptocurrencies. But it would mean that you could get what it's worth on it, and then holding other people's funds. No, no, it's something I wouldn't want to do. So for me, myself, minimum as possible in two exchanges. I got DGB. Let me put that coin up right now. I got it on Poloniex waiting to go, just in case. Got a sell order in the 160s. I don't think it's going to hit there though, but you never know. If things go out of tune and the possibility for DGB to sell is over, I'll just put the money back or the DGB back into my hardware wallet. But how much do you really need on there? Remember that having them on there does give you advantage of being able to react quickly, because having to wait for blockchains, especially coins that are really fast, may not be acceptable or may not work out. You're like, oh my goodness, say for example this jumps up to 168, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. And then you put your deposit, you go to your funds, you deposit to your Poloniex, Bittrex, or wherever it is you're trading it, and it only takes 8 minutes. But it went from 168 to 154 during that time frame, and now there's no trade for you. So that there's part of the advantage of having it on there. Then the orders, you go to bed, you got to order at 169, maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't. So it's always good to know what the advantages are and how much you can afford to put within that risk. Because there's one coin I haven't talked about much recently, and that's Aid coin, and I haven't traded that in a long, long time. For if I was to take advantage of any of these recent highs near 1200, I would have had to trade at about a 20% move, which I've done in the past, even lower. But my last buy was 1000. I didn't buy below in here. I was close, not really. I was looking for a big move lower. It didn't happen, but overall, my last time that I bought was like way back about a month ago, or sold. So unless this thing has a decent sized break above resistance or a decent sized break below support, I'm not trading this coin at all. But it's important when I see how this market works out to have sell orders in. And I might as well have Bitcoin in too, because one of the things I notice is when fees for moving Bitcoin, especially if you're like me and you don't mind doing 50, 60, $100, $150 trades, that the cost of moving Bitcoin can be expensive, that I want to make it worth it. I probably want to send at least a 0.04 minimum, given how the transaction fees are. So I don't mind holding a little bit of Bitcoin in different spots, but it can get exhausted. My Poloniex Bitcoin, I had a few buy orders fill. It's exhausted now. And yes, this thing will get going again. Whether it's a good coin or not, I don't know. But I know the way I trade within my strategy that it's a good strategy. At least it works for myself. Risk reward management, of course, always job number one. At least for myself. Hopefully, people have been able to been safe through this whole Cryptopia mess and all the other ones that have been out there. There's a lot of people that are going to be scamming in this world. There always has been. If there's a way, if there's a will, there's a way. And obviously, do your best to not get scammed. With Binance, they have been very, very professional in handling the situation that they went through, and we're not seeing anything of the like right now on the Cryptopia as they've been handling it as well. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.